Without uttering a single new word, Kendrick Lamar simply rocked the music industry. He transformed Humble Ah, the song that once put him at the top of the game, into something with a single, surprising move Drake has never managed to pull off. A culture-shifting, legacy-defining explosion that broke records, silenced skeptics, and sent fans into a frenzy. A silent bomb that blew up the charts and humiliated the competition. No announcement, no rollout, no features. According to insiders, it's the best hip-hop resurrection of a classic song ever. Even Drake's crew is in disbelief about what transpired next, according to industry executives. Because, let's face it, when was the last time a 2017 song made a comeback? This much harm. This is the part that no one anticipated. It wasn't remixed by Kendrick. Bars were not added by him. He fixed it. What was included with it? Before we plunge into the devastation Kendrick just unleashed, let's take a step back. This frightening new video, along with a hidden message and one jaw-dropping surprise, has everyone wondering, did Kendrick just end the debate for good? Because this wasn't a chance occurrence. This had been developing for years. Drake and Kendrick Lamar have been circling each other in the same arena like wolves for a long time. Both experts in their fields, both controlling distinct facets of society, while never coming to a full-scale conflict. Since the early 2010s, fans have been speculating about it. Around it, journalists danced. Rappers silently took sides, but everyone knew there was conflict. It wasn't a music contest. This was a conflict between legacy, vision, and ideals. Drake rose to prominence on the charts. Radio anthem after radio anthem, stream after stream, creating a dynasty based on mainstream appeal and relatability. Conversely, Kendrick was creating something more profound, slower, and more impact-based. He has no intention of being the loudest. He was creating a message that would endure beyond all of them, and Humble, the 2017 song, at the core of that message, was more than just a success. It was a warning shot, shrouded in piano keys and silent wrath, a cultural earthquake. Take a seat and be modest, straightforward, and memorable. People believed it was directed at the rap game at the time. Some said it was a subliminal directed at Drake, but Kendrick never provided any proof. The numbers spoke for themselves. So he didn't need to add anything. Became Kendrick's first solo #1 on rhythmic radio. After debuting at #2 on the Billboard Hot 100, received over 1 billion views on YouTube, and won a Grammy for Best Rap Performance and Best Rap Song. The weird part comes next. Kendrick never surfed the wave despite all of that success. He never tweeted bragging rights or republished statistics. Since humility wasn't the end goal for him, he simply kept going. It was the design. Let's talk about Drake in the meanwhile. Drake was topping the charts year after year, while Kendrick was taking a hiatus from solo releases. Her Loss, Scorpion, and The Certified Lover Boy are all performing amazing feats. Nevertheless, a cloud hung over him despite the sales. Where's the stuff? Why does Kendrick's music seem to age better than his? Why hasn't he produced a moment that makes two pimps happy? Drake supporters stood up for him. Kendrick supporters retaliated. And the one song that remained silent and unflinching in the midst of it all was Modest. This is where things get crazy though. In an effort to prolong their life, keep them on the charts, and create new moments, Johnny Drake has previously re-released a number of his songs via live performances, streaming bundles, and alternate edits. However, none of them ever managed to rekindle the culture the way they did when they originally came out. Till Kendrick, none of them ever caused anyone to pause and ask, wait, what did he just do? So far, because people believed that Kendrick's re-upload of Humble Restored Edition was at most a remaster, possibly a crisper mix. However, No one could have foreseen what transpired without altering a single word in the lyrics, without including a single additional bar. Kendrick attacked the entire concept of legacy measurement with a visual counterattack. He accomplished this by tying Humble to his actual $10 million gift to Compton High School. Yes, you heard correctly. Kendrick was reassembling classrooms. As others flaunted their jewelry and jets, in addition to using Humble as the soundtrack for something much larger than a hit song, he created a high school by hand. And the repaired version is currently popular once more. Since Kendrick just demonstrated to the world that a song with a purpose will always hit harder than a song with playlists. It smashed streaming records and is igniting discussions about Drake's whole career. Furthermore, what's next, Johnny? The true drama starts at that point. The real twist was that the internet was still processing what Kendrick had just done with Humble Restored Edition. This was more than just a legacy tribute. Fans didn't realize it was a direct jab at Drake until a particular frame in the video ignited a conspiracy theory. The scene occurs just as the beat begins to drop again, 2 minutes and 34 seconds into the repaired version. Kendrick passes a locker with the word fake spray painted on it far too rapidly to notice. Numbers after them don't indicate impact. The internet went crazy. This was shared by a TikTok user who zoomed in on frame B. It's no accident. As you are all aware, Kendrick is criticizing Drake himself. This guy has been dropping nothingness while selling millions. Kendrick is pursuing eternity rather than hits. After the post received 6 million views in a single day, the comment area abruptly descended into chaos. Compared to Drake's 4 albums, Kendrick conveyed more in 4 words. This is the kind of record Drake could never create. Years later, talk again. Impact is not the new control verse based on numbers. For a period, however, it didn't end there. False insider information began to circulate. According to one purported screenshot, a direct message from a member of Kendrick's crew stated Drake last year. I attempted to purchase a documentary on Compton schools but gave up when Kendrick's name was mentioned. He's angry now. Funny, this was posted in a Discord group by another alleged insider. Kendrick anticipated Drake's deluxe. He intentionally dropped this. It was precisely timed. And you know what? They were correct. Drake was working on a follow-up release, the Scorpion Anniversary Edition, which included new artwork, a few demos, and previously unheard studio versions of shelved tracks was scheduled to be released that same week. However, Restored Edition became the #1 song overnight after Humble. Silently, Drake pushed it back. Just removed from the schedule. No tweet, no publicity. Fans took note. He actually held his rollout since Kendrick breathed on a beat he already owned, according to a tweet with 9OK likes. Another claimed that Kendrick flattened his tires and Drake wanted to spin the block. The drama really gets ugly here though. Screenshots from a purported OO group discussion were published by a well-known music blog. Despite the chaos of the debate, one line caught my attention. Someone who was thought to be 40 years old. Humble was a warning shot. We should have dropped last month, wrote Drake's right-hand producer. Drake replied with a single emoji. Was he referring to Kendrick? As a clown, bro? Was it self-aware irony, or was he making fun of the entire movement? Nobody is aware. However, just one emoji made news in the hip-hop press. Kendrick's regained humility prompts a response from Drake. Fans were split. Drake versus Kendrick. The fight for legacy just became personal. Silent surrender, or the clown emoji. When Kendrick's longtime collaborator Dave Free shared a picture of the modest video shoot on Instagram, with the background barely visible on a whiteboard. A few monarchs are buried in waterways. The fans went crazy. Lost it. Creators of TikTok. started to speculate that Kendrick was orchestrating the entire drop as a secret disc masquerading as a party. He didn't mention Drake's name because he didn't have to, according to one widely shared video. It was all stated in the symbolism. The real king does not return the clap. All he does is walk taller. However, a private party-in-law was the target of the first real-world repercussion. Drake and Kendrick were reportedly invited to the same industry event, which was a closed-list celebration for a significant award show partner, according to sources. P-Long crew arrived with Kendrick. Relax. No entourage Drake, he was observed, leaving just 10 minutes after arriving later. This was leaked to a hip-hop page by an insider. He entered, nodded, then lowered when he saw Kendrick on the other side of the room. No. Hi there. Not even a handshake. There were rumors that their relationship had finally reached a breaking point. There's been respect between them for years, but now that might be done. Kendrick just moved the needle, and Drake isn't laughing about it. A well-known Drake affiliate stated during a live stream on Twitch that evening, and just as you. In downtown Toronto, a billboard appeared, and many assumed that was all. No logos, just black text. Signed at the bottom, it said, "Impact can't be streamed." Bro PG Lang. Recently, Kendrick purchased a billboard in Drake City. That's chess, not just legacy. Kendrick still hadn't spoken though. No response, no interview, no tweet, just that silence. Compared to a diss, it was louder. Fans and industry insiders were certain that Kendrick wasn't only re-releasing Humble after the Toronto billboard went viral. He was announcing war. Furthermore, this wasn't the sort of battle, including internet teasing or diss recordings. No, Kendrick was fighting for his legacy. And without having to shout, each action was calculated, accurate, and deadly. However, what followed? No one anticipated it. Respected hip-hop journalist Samantha Pierce hosts an insider K.Dot on a late-night Twitter area, remarking that they had worked inside the OO machine. A startling voice joined in. Although the man did not disclose his true identity, he did have previous voice memos, audio snippets, receipts, and even documentation containing Meat Tad's unreleased song and his claim. Ever since Kendrick won the Pulitzer Prize, Drake has been fixated on legacy. He is aware of his catalog's sales figures, yet he senses the emptiness in his heart. Kendrick simply beat him to it once more, even though he wanted to do something significant but modest. After that space closed, blogs took off. According to Xavasaurus, Drake is obsessed with surpassing Kendrick's legacy. According to an insider leak, Humble repaired Kendrick and destroyed Drake's impending rollout rather than dissing. Then the unexpected celebrity reaction arrived. A portion of Kendrick's modestly restored film was published by LeBron James, the king himself, on his EIG narrative. Caption: "This is what happens when art and purpose come together." Fans of Mic Drop began referring to it as the royal cosign. Media outlets also joined in. ESPN aired when King James chooses his hip-hop king. It's not Drake. Some people clap louder for your failure than their own win. Was that a shot at Brown, at Kendrick, or at fans? Nobody knew. Drake's recent sad gym selfie didn't help, but the damage was already done. The following mysterious message was then uploaded by a Reddit user under the Hippopods subreddit, revealing Kendrick's next action. Wait until you hear the follow-up if you believed Humble Restored was the last one. It's a statement rather than a song, and it's performed live. Hold on, what? As it happens, Kendrick was preparing a live show. The ribbon-cutting ceremony at Compton High School will feature an installation related to Humble. However, this was not merely a local occurrence. There were rumors that streaming rights had been signed by HBO, YouTube, and Apple Music. The worst part is that a press memo that was released revealed the performance's name: Legacy Greater Than Streams. a live art event that Kendrick Lamar produced. Humble was becoming a movement thanks to this man. Drake is still mute, but the fans aren't so sure. Theories exploded on TikTok. Did Kendrick just outperform Drake in terms of marketing? Why does Drake seem to have lost a feud that never even began? Kendrick did better than Drake without mentioning his name. The cherry on top and scary levels. There are so many threads on Twitter. One of the most popular posts said, Kendrick's rollout. 1 video, 1 billboard, 0 tweets. Drake's last. 5 drops, 32 posts, 8 trailers, and 15 teases. Who's really winning? Underneath it, thousands of replies. Some fans defended Drake's numbers, while others brought up his rollout history. And some brought up ghostwriting again, because, of course they did. However, one quote stood out and was reposted by several artists. Some artists become famous, while others will endure forever. Then the real bombshell came. Spotify put Humble Restored on 5 editorial playlists. Something they rarely do for re-releases and industry analysis sites. ChartTac posted Kendrick's 2017 song, which just beat Drake's 2023 lead single in 48-hour streams from the grave. No promo. Yo, Drake dropped a full campaign for all 4 dogs. Kendrick dropped a new cut of an old video and won. Finally, just when it seemed like things couldn't get any worse, Kendrick's team sent out a what does that mean? Is Kendrick preparing? A whole new album, a docu-series, or a public tour? Nobody knows, but we do know that he's not done. When his modestly restored edition hit the charts, the public's reaction was explosive. Team Kendrick took over the internet. TikTok became a battlefield. Twitter, now X, was a battlefield, and Reddit was a repository of receipts. Everyone had something to say, and one TikTok went viral with 8 million views. Drake's in the studio. Right now. Like, I should have dropped my own high school too, huh? The comments? Drake revived a song from the grave and still bodied the game. Kendrick makes history. Drake makes hits. This is about weight. Another creator flipped it with comedy. Drake's subpar house track and Kendrick's donation of a school had a greater impact than Drake's last 3 albums combined. But not everyone agreed. Team Drake fiercely retaliated. Humble was already a classic. Drake doesn't do anything but repackage nostalgia. Kendrick disappeared for 3 years, but it was only a trend for 3 days. The celebrities then jumped. J. Cole, on his burner Twitter, said, yes, fans, no. Liking a thread that claimed that Kendrick wasn't trying to win charts, but rather to win time. Cardi B reposted the Humble Restored video with fire emojis and Push It went all savage. This is what silence sounds like when it hits harder than a verse. But the moment that really got people talking was when Shaw went live and said, Kendrick's brain is different. He doesn't just drop songs, he drops eras. He doesn't care about flexing. He flexes by changing the temperature in the culture. You already know what fans did. Then came the award show fallout, with screenshots, edits, and fan cams of Kendrick and Shaw's old collaboration suddenly trending on TikTok once more. A leaked email screenshot on Twitter suggested that Humble Restored would receive a surprise nod at the Hip Hop Awards because of its cultural impact. What? The Bet Hip Hop Awards honored a restored version of an old song over current chart toppers. In the background of all of this, Drake hadn't said a word, but fans continued to watch. Dotting every emoji, every lyric in his Instagram captions, and every cryptic post from 40, waiting for a clapback. Some wanted bars, some wanted silence. This wasn't just a video, it was a cultural reset. No, you can't give awards to remixes, even if they hit. I love it. Even Drake had to admit it if he wins for a song that's 6 years old. At 11:59 p.m., when the industry believed Kendrick was finished, Kendrick's team sent out a final message to PG Lang's official X account. It was brief, icy, and devastating. And it read, "He chased hits, we chased home." Some people simply wanted to know if Drake could come back from this without looking desperate. The humble restored edition had already made history. A kingdom was founded by one of us. One created a playlist. Entire sector came to a halt. Just 28 words that seemed to be an epitaph to Drake's supremacy. No marketing, no hashtags. One thing was evident even as fans argued about whether Kendrick truly penned it. This was hardly a poetic conflict. It was structural. Drake created moments. Monuments were being built by Kendrick. Then, on a Twitch Live, the confession from inside the Six came. A songwriter who had contributed to Certified Lover Boy, one of Drake's lesser-known colleagues, unintentionally made a significant mistake. What's crazy, do you? For a hook, we nearly sampled Humble. There was a concept for it, I won't lie. We didn't follow through, but Drake felt it may be ironic. 40 believed it was too dangerous. Kendrick's own song was almost used in a Drake project. The story is entirely altered if that is the case. It implies that Drake thought Humble was more than just a popular song. He perceived it as an impenetrable shadow, and Kendrick was aware of it. The true surprise, though, was when Johnny performed at Compton High School as part of Legacy Greater Than Streams Live, which was broadcast to more than 6 million people on YouTube and Apple Music. When Kendrick took the stage, he was dressed entirely in white. There was only one spotlight behind him. No flames, no dancers, no spectacle. A huge screen showing the original Modest music video in reverse, youth protests, and early pictures of black pupils. However, the screen glitched and showed a phrase that had never been seen before when the beat stopped. Being superior to him was never the goal here. It was about demonstrating that you didn't have to be. Double quotations. Boom. The audience became quiet. The chat streams stopped working. Theories filled TikTok right away. Then it turned to Black Dot, was Kendrick, acknowledging that the dispute was one-sided and that he had never pursued Drake because he had always been pursuing something greater. The P-Long logo fades into the text with no encore or farewell. Chapter 1 has been restored. Chapter 2 was soon to be released. What does that signify? Will a complete album be released soon? A little movie. A documentary revealing the whole sector? We're not sure yet. However, one thing is evident. Not only did Kendrick bring Humble back to life, he changed Drake's and hip-hop's definition of legacy. He must make a decision. Remain mute and fade, or clap back and run the chance of being humiliated once more. You've seen everything now. Humble's restoration did more than just bring back a beloved song, it changed the course of history. A dot. There was no diss single released by Kendrick Lamar. Drake was left stranded in the smoke after he dropped a legacy grenade. Impact only, no bars, no interviews. In a world full of checkers, Kendrick played chess in a covert stage show in Compton and quiet billboards in Toronto. We must now inquire, however, if Kendrick put a formal end to the argument. Drake's dominance based more on streaming than on content. Will this be the quiet before Kendrick's next outburst? Because let's not overlook the last message. Chapter 1 has been restored. Chapter 2 will be released soon. What comes next? Is it a visual album, a whole CD, or something larger? Now share your theory in the comments. Should Drake say something? Or say nothing? Press the like button, Team Kendrick. If you're in for the battle, Team Drake, let us know in the comments. We assure you that this is not the end, so please subscribe and enable notifications. And Johnny Chapter 2 might rock the industry's foundation if Chapter 1 was this strong. We might be discussing more than just a song the next time, so stay tuned. We may be discussing the end of an era.